So again, let's work with some files on this page. If I scroll down here, there's my page. There's about me, favorite projects, etc., etc. I can put whatever I want in there. So let's go back to the page. So let's scroll down here to the bottom. And this section that I want to pay attention to and focus on right now is recent works. If I click on that again, that's going to edit, clone, and trash. At this point, you should definitely get this. Notice we separated this with a separator, similar to the separator we did in the previous video when we added this section right here. So it really is that simple. It just makes the site look a little nicer if you do like a little faint line or something else in there. So I'm going to select right here and edit these changes. Now, this I just want you to pay a little bit more attention to because it's a little bit more, not necessarily complex, but how do you want this to be? In a carousel grid with excerpts, we're just going to go a grid. Picture size is going to be automatic, whatever the size was. Now, obviously, you'd probably want to put the same type of image sizes in there to begin with. Unboxed box. Okay, we're going to go with boxed. Right now, that's unboxed. What you're seeing here is unboxed. So we're going to go with boxed. Show filters, the different filters. I can ignore that for right now. Columns 3. So if you come up here, you'll see that you have 3 columns. Now keep in mind that I have 6 pictures. So I could go columns 2 because that's a divisible of 6. So that's going to work as well. So let's actually go columns 2. Column spacing in pixels, 12. That's a good default. Categories. We're just going to, we can pick our different categories. I'll explain that in a subsequent video. But we're just going to leave it blank to select all our categories, etc., etc. We can exclude categories as well. Number of posts, we're going to do 6, and everything else will be the same. Tile rollover, yes. Now what that is doing is this. That's what a tile rollover is. So if I put my cursor right there, that's what this rollover is. And if I click there, I can just go to that particular page. This is category 1, 2, and 3. This is category 1, 3, and 4. This is category 2, 3, and 4. We'll talk about categories in another video series, but I just want to share with you how to affect that. Carousel navigation, I have this set up so it's not actually a carousel, so we're not actually doing that. And we're going to come down here and hit save. So if I update the changes and either preview the change, but since I already have a box. Since I already have a page up here, I'm going to hit the return key. And I'll just get a slightly different variation. I'm going to have my slide show up on top. I come down here to the bottom and scroll. About me. And there are my, actually it was supposed to be set up for 4. I don't think it updated. So let's just close out of this for a second. Update the changes. And preview the changes. Sometimes you'll notice that things get stuck in your cache system of your browser's cache and it's bringing up the old information. So drum roll please, if I scroll down here, you'll now see it set up for 2, 4, 6. And it's going to basically fill in that space because that's how I had those properties set up. So what you want to do is have a proportional size grid. So therefore, if you happen to change it up, it's going to be different. Now, this would be a good example of maybe taking that. Let's actually do something really cool. Let's go and copy that. And we'll call this version 2, 2-column products. Now, get really cool production technique because now I can see exactly what it is I did and I can share that to the client or my boss or wherever I need to impress. Okay, so I published those changes. So this is the 2-column and the other one was the 3-column. So I can go back to the other, or actually we can make that. The other one actually was the 3-column or the 2-column. So we can make this back to 3 columns. Does that make sense? Yes. So version 2, 3 columns, so let's update that again. And let's go down and select that area. And let's select the grid. I edit the grid. Let's do something slightly different. Let's do carousel. Actually, you know what? Then that's going to, I'm not going to do carousel. My mistake on that, because obviously it wouldn't be a grid then with X amount of columns. So columns, we're going to change that back to 3 columns, And again, if you do these sizes here, keep the size the same. This one will proportionally rescale based on what you're trying to do. Animation type. Let's do a shake. Actually, let's do a bounce. That'll be visual. And these are just JavaScript bounces. Animation speed. Now this is doing slightly something a little bit different. This is saying that your animation speed is 0.1 through 1. If you remember, for those of you who worked in the last version of Flash before it went bye-bye, that's how Flash worked. 0 was nothing, 1 was 100%, so 0.9 was 90, 0.8, 0.70, etc., etc. So let's make our animation speed 1.3 or 30%. And let's save the changes here. So therefore, if I come up here, update the changes, and preview the changes. Now again, I can't overemphasize enough how much mileage I get out of that simple duplicate post plugin. So if you don't have it, you definitely want to use it. It'll save you a lot of brain damage. So I scroll down here, and just like that, I have my information in place with my products that are 6 up. And if I click here, I'm getting that same, see, I'm getting that little, and if I click there, it's going to open up that particular page. You know, keep in mind, this is coming out of the page that was created in your demo. So I can just go right there to next, and next, and next. Again, I can't overemphasize enough. I know I keep saying that word, I can't overemphasize enough. But the Avada theme is really kind of pretty hip because it's got a lot of great professionally designed layouts. So rather than reinvent the wheel, get to know what it's capable of doing and then just modify that and make it your own. That's what I highly suggest you do. Now, let's say as an example that you want to go with these different layouts and stuff, but you're not too sold on all these different menu choices. So let's understand how we can tackle that in our next video.